This is Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, verse 23. There is a wickedness, and the same an abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. He that hath small understanding and feareth the Most High is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. There is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. This lesson is going to be entitled Esau Edom, Exquisite Subtlety. Exquisite Subtlety. And he's damn devil. As soon as you try to record something. Anyway, I got the idea to do this lesson from this movie. It was on TV the other day, last weekend. I was getting dressed. I think I might have been getting ready for camp. I can't remember. But this movie was on called Carbon Copy. I don't know if you brothers, a lot of you may be too young to remember this movie. But this is one of Denzel's first movies he was in, or the one that made him a star, should I say. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, in this movie, Carbon Copy, this white dude sitting at the table is supposed to be his father, right? Going way back, and then Denzel shows up and he tells this guy that he's his son, because this white dude, he went way back with Denzel's mother, and I guess he got her pregnant, and then he went on with his life. He didn't even know the lady was pregnant, but then when she passed away, Denzel came and sought him out. Now I'm gonna play a good clip of this, maybe 3-minute portion of this. I want you to listen to. You're gonna get it when you hear it. All right, I want you to hear this though. But the whole lesson is centered around this exquisite subtlety, and we're gonna look into that word subtlety and what it means. All right, but I want you to check this out. So I'm gonna play it here.
Vote
on whether to take Roger into our home. We discussed all that, Walter.
I never agreed to a vote. It's our decision, just yours and mine.
Please, Walter, I don't want to argue the point.
I didn't take a vote when I adopted Mary Ann.
She is my natural child. It was the only decent thing to do.
By that logic, if he were my natural son, I'd have every right to expect you, my wife, to accept him.
Don't make ludicrous parallels, Walter.
No, I mean it, Vivian. If Roger were my son, you'd accept him?
Yes, Walter, if he were your son, of course.
All right, Vivian. I will let you be as good as your word. Roger is my son.
I don't find that very amusing, Walter.
Neither do I, but it happens to be a fact.
That can't be. He's,
And so is his mother.
This is really your son?
Yes.
Your natural son?
Yes.
Oh, my God. And to think I was going to let him live here.
You promised to accept him just as I accepted you a child.
You tricked me.
Vivian, listen.
Now, in this movie, you get to see just how much Esau hates you Jakes, man. Just the mere fact that he laid with a so-called black woman, right? It shows you they completely ruined this guy, man. They fired him from the company. You can see he rich. They took away all his credit cards. They basically he was an outcast of society because he had a so-called black son. Now you're gonna get the exquisite subtlety part, because in this movie, listen to what's said right here at this point and what that preacher says when he comes. I'm gonna play the rest.
Touch me, Walter. Don't ever touch me again.
You're getting hysterical.
God will never forgive you for having a black child.
How do you know, Vivian? Maybe he'll be pleased. Maybe God is black.
You will burn in hell for saying that, Walter.
Deep in my... You see that? Just the mere suggestion that the Most High is not white, it sends these devils into a frenzy, man. That's why this truth is so high powered, And I will be surprised if I'm able to upload this video to YouTube, because they're gonna try with all they might to stop this from being uploaded, man. Trust me. All right. But anyway, there's more to come. Now she went off the hinges when he suggested that maybe the Most High is black. She went off the hinges. See? Wait till you see this goddamn wicked ass preacher, man. When you hear what he says. And I got to play about 2 more minutes of this. Check it out. My heart, I do believe.
Will you stop singing that song?
We shall overcome someday.
Mr. Charlie, I got a feeling you better start learning the words.
Where's the boy?
First off, you look in between them, you see a figurine or a slave in between them. You see him? That was put there on purpose, okay? Just so you know, because when they do film cinematography and film and stuff, they put shit in the background on purpose. Anything that you see in the shot is placed there on purpose. All right? So you see the slave right there in the middle. All right?
In the garage.
Vivian?
Upstairs with Dr. Bristol and Reverend Hayworth.
How is she?
She's under sedation. Reverend Hayworth is praying with her. I even had to give Marianne tranquilizers. I've been the Longhurst family doctor for 40 years. I delivered Vivian. And to see her in this state of shock. You must be a sadist to flaunt a black sun in front of her.
I didn't flaunt him. He's not black. He's what interior decorators call hickory bronze. Same color as your new car.
I would just as soon you did not compare that boy to my new car. I no longer consider myself your personal physician, and I would advise you not to get sick in San Marino, Mr. Whitney.
Your father-in-law wants the family to spend the night at his house. I don't see God's book around, Walter.
I'm sorry.
Sorry is for those seeking forgiveness. Are you seeking forgiveness, Walter?
Forgiveness for what, Reverend?
Vivian said you told her that God is black.
I simply posed it as a possibility.
We don't speculate on God's color, Walter. If you ever want Vivian to speak to you again, go upstairs and tell her that God is white.
But we're really not sure. I mean, the Hindus don't believe it, the Muslims, the Buddhists.
God is white. It's simple logic. His son is white.
That's not proof. I'm white, my son is black.
You see it? So what these motherfuckers have done, it pierces them to the soul. Just the mere suggestion that the Most High and his son are not motherfucking crackers, it pierces these devils to the heart. They hate it. They hate you, Jake. They hate you, man. And what they've done all throughout history is pretended like they didn't know that they covered over the faces of the Lord and his son, man. And they put this shit in their movies and in their head, and they want you to believe it's a foregone conclusion that the Most High is a motherfucking is a honky, man. Right? And if you get mad at the language I'm using, then fuck you, man. All right? You can't get mad enough, man, about these damn devils. Now I'm gonna read. Let's get these scriptures now. And anybody got a problem with it, just don't listen, man. Don't complain on the comment board. Just don't listen, man. Go watch cartoons if you got a problem with it. Fucking devils, man. You going down. Ecclesiastes 19 and verse, I'm gonna just jump ahead, verse 25. It says, there is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. And we're gonna look up those words, exquisite subtlety. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. This damn serpent is exquisitely subtle. It goes on, there is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit. And that's these damn devils, man, these Edomites, these crackers, all right? They pretend like they don't know what's going on. They come to the camps pretending like they're your brothers in Christ. These motherfuckers are wicked, man, wicked. Casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not. Where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. And Vocab Malone is one of them. James White is one of them. They pretend like they don't know what's going on, but they know they've been sent. They hurt through the soul because the truth is coming out about everything, man. And you can't stop it, devils. You cannot stop it. It says, casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not, where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. You think he is benevolent and kind and gentle? That's an act. This motherfucker already done shit behind your back. And when you finally find out his wickedness, he'll pretend like, what are you talking about? Right? They purposely covered over the faces of the judges, and now that the truth is coming out, they pretend like, oh, it's just a misunderstanding. Oh, he's not black. Jesus is not black, but he's not white either. But you painted him white, you fucking devils. Let's look up exquisite subtlety. Now the first word, exquisite, here it is.
Exquisite.
Extremely beautiful and typically delicate, right? It says in a noun form, a man who is affectionately concerned with his clothes and appearance. A dandy, right? It's basically a person that want to be, or it's got the image of being perfect, man, like exquisite. If something is exquisite, like you might have a nice car, and you might be like, damn, that car is exquisite, man. It's perfect, right? Now, exquisite is a descriptive word in this sense. Now, when I looked up this term subtlety, this is what I found out. It comes from the root word subtle, right? But when these damn devils basically changed the word so that the real meaning could not be found, it says, it's from the root word subtle. When you put in subtle, which is, I'm trying to find it, is subtlety a word. See right here when it says subtler, subtlest, right? Fine or delicate in meaning or intent, difficult to perceive or understand, subtle irony. See the spelling, S-U-B-T-L-E, irony, delicate or faint, mysterious, a subtle smile, right? But really they changed the meaning of the word because it should have been subtlety, the way the apostles say it, right? But when you look up subtle, just the word subtle down here at the bottom, when you look it up in this form, you don't find as much. It's kind of a cloudy meaning. But when you look up subtlety, this is what comes up. Countable and uncountable plural subtleties, obsolete, cunning, craftiness, a cunning scheme, a trick, a con, excessive refinement or argument, right? Casuistry, yeah, a convoluted or refined argument. So exquisite subtlety is perfect cunning craftiness, wickedness, man. And that's these motherfucking Edomites. They are perfectly subtle and crafty. Let's read that scripture again. It says, there is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. That's Esau, Edom. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wicked man, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. Listen to this. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit. He running game on you, man. He know he wicked the whole time. Casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not, where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. You ain't even know what was going on, and this motherfucker already done pulled schemes and tricks. He removed landmarks. He changed the images. He covered over shit, right? He changed the names of places so you would not find out you was the Israelites and he was the Edomites. Just like yesterday, we found out about the Apocrypha, right? Casting down his countenance and making it as if he heard not, where he is not known, he would do thee a mischief before thou be aware. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. This motherfucker is the devil. And don't you think for 1 minute that he's not. When you go to Job 9:24, it means exactly what it says. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked? He rules the earth, and what else did he do? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? And he used exquisite subtlety in all of his movies, in his publications, to make you think and believe that the Lord is a damn white dude, that the Most High is white, that the angels are white. And he goes on about his way as if it's a foregone conclusion that the Most High is a honky. And they put it in their movie so you will believe it, and then they pretend like they're Christians. And they ain't nothing but Edomites, man. The wicked of the whole earth. Listen again.
This book around, Walter.
I'm sorry.
Sorry is for those seeking forgiveness. Are you seeking forgiveness, Walter?
Forgiveness for what, Reverend?
Vivian said you told her that God is black.
I simply posed it as a possibility.
We don't speculate on God's color, Walter. If you ever want Vivian to speak to you again, go upstairs and tell her that God is white.
But we're really not sure. I mean, the Hindus don't believe it, the Muslims, the Buddhists.
God is white. It's simple logic. His son is white.
That's not proof. I'm white, my son is black.
Ooh, you motherfuckers wicked, man. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is it? Where the hell on the earth is the wicked if the Esau, the so-called white man, is not it? Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people. He put a covering over all people. He changed the names. He changed history, right? He changed landmarks and removed them so that he could pretend that he's you and you're somebody else, right? All the while, he's the devil, man. The biggest trick the devil ever pulled is to convince the world that he did not exist. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. This motherfucker is exquisitely subtle to the point where he got you doubting whether or not he's the wicked. Revelation 1:1. So let's deal with the color of the Lord, because it's plain in the scriptures what the Lord looked like, what the Israelites look like. Revelation 1:1. The revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, which the Most High gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, right? So the revelation is the revealing of the Savior. When you go to verse 14, it says his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, right? It could have said white as sugar, white as salt. But why did it mention wool? Because it's a woolly texture, man, right? It's white as snow, pure wool. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Now, when you look up these devils will argue where they'll say his feet were glowing like, unto brass, as burned. See, when you look it up here, it says if they burned, right? When you burn something, it's not glowing. See, it says fire to glow with heat. If you go here, it says glow, be refined, or to be inflamed with anger, burned, fiery, be on fire. See, it doesn't give you a whole lot. It don't give you a whole lot to make glow. No, it don't mean to make glow, because when you go and you cross-reference it, right? And let's go back to the scripture. Revelation 1:15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Right? Now that's out of the Greek. When you go to Daniel 10:5-6, then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, right? And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. Now, inside of that movie clip, when the dude said he compared his son is not black, he said he's more like a bronze, like a hickory bronze, right? Listen to this. When you go to his arms and his feet like in color to polished, right? This is what you get. The word polished, it says brightened, burnished, polished, right? Burnished, polished. Let's go back and get brass now. It ain't saying about no damn glowing, okay? Brass. Nakashah. It says what? Compared with gold, silver, brazen, brass, chain, copper, fetter, filthiness, steel, right? Right here. Copper, bronze. He was a dark-skinned brown man. Copper, bronze, as copper alloy. You see it? So he's like fine brass, burnished brass, right? If you go to Ezekiel 1:10, I believe, and you look up the color of the angels, what does it say? Not 10, Salakia. Ezekiel 1:7, and their feet were straight feet. This is the angels. And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Got you slipping again, fucking devils. See it? Burnished brass. Just like hickory bronze, like Denzel looked in that, the man described him as. Hickory bronze, burnished brass. That's what the Savior looks like. That's what the angels look like. That's what the Most High look like. Song of Songs, 1 verse 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. These are all Solomon's words, okay? It's a poem. It's written in parabolic form. It's a dark saying. This is not a woman speaking. This is Solomon's words. Verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. The Lord is a so-called black man. His son is a so-called black man. It's in his lineage. Matthew 1:1. Solomon is in the lineage of the Savior, which they all described as so-called black men. Matter of fact, let's go to Jeremiah real quick. Jeremiah 14:2. And we heard all the arguments from these devils. On the one hand, these motherfuckers will say, oh, that Esau was not red, right? Doesn't mean his skin color. Then they turn around and say, oh, Adam and Esau is the same description. Which you was lying about that. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. You see it? They are black into the ground. That's how the Israelites look, man. Dark-skinned people. The tribe of Judah was a dark-skinned people. Matthew 1 verse 1, the book of the generation of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. If you go down, verse 5, and Salmon begat Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Uriah. What was Solomon described as? I am black but comely. Later on, then the same line, same family lineage, right? Matthew 1:15, and Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua, who is Hamashiach. The tribe of Judah are dark-skinned men, and the Savior was one of them. You see it? Let's read here in Genesis. It says, now the serpent, Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. This is the same spirit that's in Esau, the so-called white man, the serpent of the whole earth, man, pretending like he don't know what's going on. This motherfucker done changed words. He moved little shit around here and there, right? Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, had the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Making suggestions like these motherfuckers love to do. Roll up on the scene, right? From the word, if I'm not mistaken, Arawam. It says cunning, crafty, prudent, subtle. It says cunning usually in a bad sense. This motherfucker's plotting, subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. This motherfucker is the perfect devil, man. And he got the perfect, exquisitely subtle, devil-ass serpent spirit on his ass, man. Let's get 2 Corinthians 11:1. Would to the Most High you could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to the anointed. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach. Let's go to subtlety over here in the Greek and see what they say it means. Beguiled means to be tricked. Subtlety, right?
Strong's G 3834, panorgia. Panorgia.
Panorgia. It's these fucking devils. It says all working, i.e. doing everything. No. Adroitness in a bad sense. Trickery, sophistry, cunning, craftiness, subtlety. And they even changed the word subtlety to subtlety. Craftiness, cunning, a specious or false wisdom. In a good sense, prudence, skill in undertaking and carrying on affairs. These motherfuckers are nothing more than Satan, man. You see? And we told you that. And you got Israelites that don't believe it, man. Let's go over here. Can we get to 16:11? Let's do that. I'm gonna put in Satan. Let me show you who you're dealing with right here, man. Right? This is Ecclesiastes 21, verse 27. And it reads straight to the point. When the ungodly curses Satan, he curses his own soul. And that's these people, man. These Edomites. They are devils to the core. Let's get 2 Thessalonians real quick. And if you say otherwise, you lie. These motherfuckers are nothing more than the children of Satan, man. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except they come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Who is it? It's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the man of sin. What's the color of sin? Red, garnet, scarlet, red. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is the Most High. What does this fucker right here say? You go upstairs and tell her that God is white, his son is white. See it? Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, and he being revealed now. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And this is this motherfucker right here, painted himself as the son of the Most High, right? He got his ministry, he got his benevolent act, right? I come in peace, I'm your brother, I love you, all the while waiting to do mischief. He already done did some shit. Let's play it one last time. And I don't want to play. Of course it doesn't, but it's all good though. We seen you, devil.
Said you told her that God is black.
I simply posed it as a possibility.
We don't speculate on God's color, Walter. If you ever want Vivian to speak to you again, go upstairs and tell her that God is white.
But we're really not sure. I mean, the Hindus don't believe it, the Muslims, the Buddhists.
God is white. It's simple logic. His son is white.
That's not proof. I'm white, my son is black.
And he was speechless. Hey, all praise Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, man. The exquisite subtlety of Esau, Edom is being pulled down, man. This motherfucker covered you over with a covering. Don't think for 1 minute that is not true. See you again soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All praise Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.
What are you trying to do, Walter?
Nothing tricky, dear, just husband-wife stuff.
Oh, you make me feel so used. Why can't you do what considerate husbands do?
What do considerate husbands do?
They jog.
Oh, I'm 41 years old, Vivian. Who knows when the magic will leave my body? Then will be the time to start jogging.
You have no right to force me, Walter.
The Bible says, woe unto the wife who turneth her back on a horny spouse.
The Bible doesn't say that, Walter.
It did a long time ago. It was edited out by a lesbian translator. Vivian, I want you.
Walter, you're scaring me.
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, sweet baby. It's just an old friend coming for a visit. Open the door.
Walter?
I said open the door.
Buenos dias, Bianca.
Buenos días, señora Whitney.
Ponga la bandeja en la mesa. Gracias.
Who the hell was that?
That was Bianca, the new housekeeper.
The new housekeeper. Where's Estelle?
Walter, I had to fire her.
I liked her.
She kept forgetting her place. Bianca just arrived from Guatemala. Everyone's importing them from Central America these days. They don't resent being treated like servants.
Why don't you import a husband who doesn't mind being treated like a servant? That's what I feel like I don't really belong.
Walter, you know how uncomfortable I get when you just barge into the bathroom.
What are you ashamed of, Vivian? What is there to see that I haven't already seen? I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, I've seen you naked, Vivian. I've even laid you, Vivian.
Must you use language like this in the bedroom, Walter? This is not some cheap bar.
I could get more action in a cheap bar than I get here.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, darling.
Morning, Walter.
Marianne.
Mother, is it all right if I go shopping this morning?
Of course, darling, as long as you're home by 6.
Shopping? You don't need any new clothes.
Walter says I don't need any new clothes.
Of course you do, darling. I'll talk with him later.
You committed a moral crime this morning, Vivian! That's why we're having all this trouble in the country today. We're a nation of sex-starved, frustrated men, so we jog and vote for the death penalty.
I was shocked, Walter. Shocked.
I did not try to rape my wife in front of the housekeeper, Nelson. Whatever my faults, I don't lack a sense of the theatrical. I majored in theater arts. Now, if I try to rape the housekeeper in front of my wife, that's drama.
My daughter was in tears when she called me.
She had no right to call you.
Vivian's concern is your career, Walter. Her upbringing has stressed the importance of that career. Beware the wife who places the bed ahead of the office. I've seen a dozen careers ruined because of sexually aggressive wives. A wise man can always make discreet arrangements.
I'm not the type of man who goes out cheating, Nelson.
Not cheating, Walter. Not cheating. Think of it as easing the pressures on someone you love. You're a lucky man, Walter.
Then why don't I feel lucky? Vivian, Marianne, there's something wrong, Nelson. I feel like I've blown up this beautiful balloon, but I'm on the inside. I'm lonely.
Learn to trust unhappiness, Walter. You and I have shared many secrets. I'll share today's secret by forgetting it. Go throw yourself into your work. I've never seen a happily married executive that was worth a damn.
No, thank you.
Hold on, please. I'll see if he's in. Oh, Mr. Whitney, there's a young man at reception who wants to see you, a Roger Porter.
I don't know Roger Porter.
Mr. Whitney, he says to tell you he's Lorraine Porter's son.
Have him sent up. Lorraine Porter's son. Lorraine.
Have him come in. Lorraine Porter's son.
Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. Nothing ratty-tatty about this place. And that's the way it should be up here where the hog is fat. No meat scraps. We're talking T-bone steak here, huh? And man, you're it, huh? The big ace in the card deck. Mm-hmm. I'm sure glad our zodiac signs crossed. It's like my horoscope said. Capricorn, baby, consolidate your financial future today. Here I was thinking I was just another little poor black orphan boy going to freeze in the cold white world.
Lorraine? Your mother's dead?
Gone.
Oh, I can't tell you how sorry. I'm truly and deeply sorry.
Uh-huh.
She was a very special person. A dear friend.
Uh-huh.
What about your father?
Oh, Mom never got married. You know how it is with us colored folks. We ain't much for marrying.
What the hell kind of thing is that to say? You don't talk that way about your mother.
Of course, not being married didn't make my mother less of a woman. It just made my father less of a man.
I don't like you, Mr. Porter. I've tolerated your incredible display of bad manners because your mother and I were friends. Dear friends. Someone I knew very well.
No, you lived with her, but you didn't know her. Come on, let's lay it on each other straight. Let's tell it like it was.
I don't believe it. Lorraine was a lovely person. Intelligent, cultured. It's just too much of a shock for me to accept you as her son.
Well, if that's too much of a shock for you, you're liable to go into a coma when you get behind this. Hi, Daddy.
Son?
There's things about me I never told you, Victor. And you're my dearest friend. I guess that's how we keep our dearest friends. By only telling them the things that make us dear to them. You didn't know about Lorraine? Or about me changing my name?
Changing your name?
From Weisenthal to Whitney.
Weisenthal. What sort of name is that?
It's Jewish.
You better have a drag. You'll feel better.
It's too late. Too late.
Oh, come off it. You're not in that kind of trouble.
I'm Jewish, my son is black, and my lawyer smokes pot. Don't tell me I'm not in trouble.
Hey, it makes me feel better and does not affect my judgment. I delivered the valedictorian speech at Harvard, completely stoned.
Okay. Get me out of this spot, Victor, and I'll keep you in grass the rest of your life.
Okay, you provide the facts, I'll provide the solution. Now, who knows you changed your name?
Just Vivian and her father. It was his idea.
And who knows about Lorraine?
Just Vivian's father. After I got out of the Army, I went to Northwestern. I met Lorraine in my sophomore year. We lived together almost 3 years. And after I graduated, I came here to Unilektron as a copywriter. It was going to be temporary until I made enough so that we could get married.
Married?
Oh, yeah. The only problem was I made an instant smashing success. I was kidding around one day, and I came up with this idea for fun, the biggest lie I could think of. Unilektron, the company that puts people ahead of profit.
Was that yours?
Yeah.
It's a biggie.
2 weeks later, I was a junior executive. And then, like everything else, Vivian's father found out about Lorraine.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
What'd he do?
He had a father-to-son talk with me. No, it was more like the Pope talking to a parish priest.
Someday you will sit in this chair, Walter.
He promised the parish priest the Vatican.
I'm only showing the concern your mother and father would show if they were alive.
He slipped on my parents' ghost like you would an overcoat.
As your mistress? Yes. But not marriage.
He moralized.
She would never be accepted by the right people.
The fear of the unknown.
As the wife of a plumber, a garage mechanic, an elevator operator, fine.
A veiled threat to my future employment.
We wouldn't want to lose you.
A direct threat.
I am not a bigot.
He believed.
But I am a realist.
From that day, I've never known the difference between those words.
I am your friend.
He insisted.
There might be a child. The image we leave of ourselves on this earth after death. Think about that, Walter.
I said nothing.
You're in love. But not for the last time. That's what makes man superior. He can love, forget, and love again. Write to her. Tell her that getting married at the moment would not be practical. She'll understand. They're a very understanding people.
I wrote the letter. She never answered. After she died, Roger found all the letters I'd written.
How could a dude write all these pretty words? Just dripping with honey. Man, they could make a nun pack a suitcase and blow the convent.
I think you showed damn little respect for your mother by reading these letters.
Not as little as you showed by writing them, Dad.
And stop calling me Dad. Who told you that we're related?
Oh, after I found the letters, I asked Aunt Clara. You remember Mom's sister, Aunt Clara?
Yeah, I remember Aunt Clara.
Well, Mom went to stay with Aunt Clara when she got that way. And you know Aunt Clara would never lie, not with her husband being a preacher. The highest...
Okay. I won't argue the fact that you're my son.
You're a good sport, Dad.
This is a moment that calls for total honesty.
Nothing but the truth.
We both agree that this is a delicate situation. I think we would both agree to keep this delicate news to ourselves.
Oh, you mean now we found each other, we're not going to tell anyone?
Who would we tell?
Well, I guess first your wife.
Stop following me.
Isn't the son supposed to follow in his dad's footsteps? Why are we walking by the ocean anyhow?
In case I decide to throw myself in.
Or when do we go home and tell the family about me?
Do you really expect to come and live with us?
Are you ashamed of me, Dad?
And stop calling me Dad.
Well, what am I supposed to call you?
Well, I don't know. Whitey, Honky, Mr. Charlie, anything but not Dad. Not right now. Something I'm gonna have to get used to. Slowly, if ever.
Good morning, Whitey. Hi there, Honky. No, that's no way for a boy to talk to his father. It sounds disrespectful. And whatever else I may feel, I respect you. Mr. Charlie. That has a certain dignity. Makes me still feel like your son. Flesh of your flesh, blood of your blood.
Mistake of my mistakes.
Oh, you'll feel different after you adopt me.
Adopt you?
Yeah, I'm 17. It's time I became legal.
No way, no how.
I know I'm not everything you want in a son.
That's a keen observation.
Hey, we'll become buddies. We'll go to games. We'll go fishing and hiking. We'll wrestle on the floor together. We'll become pals. You can teach me how to build a model airplane. I'll show you how to pick a lock. You take me to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, I take you to a Third World Liberation meeting.
Why are you doing this to me, God?
There's this boy who claims to be your son.
He is my son.
I think a judge is better qualified to make that decision.
I can't deny it. Not because he's my son, but because Lorraine was his mother. You know, I loved her, but I really can't remember what she looked like. We used to laugh a lot, but I can't remember what about. There were so many moments. It was so long ago. Oh, God. To be young again with a lover that says yes.
Well, unfortunately, you're in San Marino with a wife who says no. Now, you may not love Vivian, but a husband does owe his wife some loyalty.
Well, what does a father owe his son?
Oh, you know what I mean. Vivian, my wife, all those women. They're social animals whose jungle ends at the city limits. Now, you want to toss those tigers this kind of raw meat?
That's it. That's the answer. They're animals. Don't appeal to their intellect, appeal to their instinct.
Their instinct is to kill.
Their basic instinct is to kill. What about their baser instincts? Envy, ego, false pride.
What are you talking about?
Let Vivian adopt without ever knowing. Let it be her victory, not my defeat.
Take in a colored orphan for the summer?
It's an experimental program to show underprivileged kids a better way of life.
But if they see a better way of life, they're going to want it permanently. Oh, why give them false hope? It seems so cruel.
No more cruel than busing, and you accepted that?
Only because it didn't affect Marianne. Oh, Walter, why us? Why must you get us involved in something like this?
We owe it to them, Vivian.
When will we stop owing? They already have welfare, low-rent housing, special job programs, and 4 of their own television series. When will we stop owing and be even?
Vivian is just for the summer vacation. We'll be the only family in San Marino to have one.
That's what disturbs me.
Disturbs you? Cynthia Robbins will be so green with envy, she'll probably go out and adopt one.
That's true, isn't it?
What about Gloria Pitcairn and Elizabeth Webner? You think they'll let you and Cynthia get a step ahead of them? Even if they all go out and adopt colored orphans for the summer, it won't diminish the fact that you did it first.
Like the heart transplant. No matter how many doctors do it afterwards, it's always Dr. Christian Barnard who will take the credit.
You'll be the Christian Barnard of compassion. You can even start an organization, call it Human Transplant, to take people with no hope and give them new life.
Human transplant. Ah.
I'll bring him over, and you can see for yourself what a fine boy he is.
He could sleep in your workshop in the garage until we decide. Well, just in case it doesn't work out.
Good idea. It's easier to ask someone to leave your garage than it is your home.
I just don't dig it, Mr. Charlie. I mean, the way you're getting me to be family, this whole adoption bit, me sleeping in the garage.
I told you, it's just temporary.
Well, it just don't seem right, making believe I'm an orphan.
You are an orphan.
No, I ain't. I got a daddy. Don't I, Mr. Charlie?
Get your feet off the seat. This is a Rolls Royce, not a bus.
Hey, will I get the rolls when you die?
It belongs to the company. It'll probably go to Marianne.
Oh, you like Marianne more than you like me.
Far, far more, and I'm not very fond of her. Will you stop playing with that telephone? Are you going to high school, Roger? When did you leave?
About a year ago.
Have you ever thought of going back and graduating?
Don't need to.
You don't need to, huh? How far are you going to get with an attitude like that?
I'll make out.
You'll make out. You know where you'll make out without a diploma? On the unemployment line. I mean, outside of waiting for me to die, you have no future. Stop playing with the glove compartment.
You belong to a golf club, don't you?
What about my golf club?
Well, I can join it, can't I?
Only as a caddy.
Oh, you mean they don't have no black members?
None.
Makes you proud, doesn't it, Mr. Charlie?
What makes me proud?
That the first black to join the club will be your son? Do I have to wear these square clothes?
Yes, you have to wear them.
Well, if the brothers ever saw me, they'd think I sold out.
Relax, Roger. There are no brothers in San Marino.
gonna be my new home. All right.
Just the garage. I said just the garage.
So this is Roger. Mr. Whitney has told me so much about you. Welcome to our home, Roger.
Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor.
My, what a fine-looking boy. You were right, Walter. I was worried over nothing. You're just in time for dinner. Walter, will you tell Mary Ann that we're expecting her? Roger? We're having chicken for dinner.
I just love chicken, ma'am.
I know you do. I had Bianca prepare especially for you. We want you to enjoy your stay with us, Roger.
Thank you, ma'am.
You don't have to call me ma'am. Just Mrs. Whitney.
Mrs. Whitney?
Thank you. Experiment. When Mr. Whitney first broached it, I'll admit I was a little dubious, but then I realized that I'd be giving a boy a second chance in life, a chance to improve himself. And you will try to improve yourself, won't you, Roger?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Whitney. We want to be proud of you, Roger. We'll see if we can't get our church to accept you as a member. You'll be a Presbyterian, Roger. Isn't that nice?
Well, I was raised to be a Baptist, and
You'll be a Presbyterian.
About your schooling, Roger, how far along are you in high school?
I don't go to high school.
We'll give him remedial schooling and then a job training program.
Excellent. This is going to be an exciting summer, Roger. Well, what do you think, Mary Ann? Shall we adopt Roger for the summer?
Have you ever been arrested?
That's an offensive question, Mary Ann.
Yes, little sister, I've been busted by the pigs.
Roger, in our community, the pigs are known as police officers.
Well, where I come from, they're always known as
Police officers.
Police officers.
Why were you arrested, Roger?
Well, I was walking along in a protest march against the Klan, singing the second verse of We Shall Overcome. Black and white together, black and white together.
We know the song, Roger.
And when this man stepped off the sidewalk and hit me over the head with a lead pipe. Well, needless to say, I fell down and he started kicking me, and then the police officers arrested me.
Roger, you must promise to never go on one of those protest marches again or sing that Overcome song again.
Never?
Well, if you feel the urge, you may sing it in the privacy of your own room. Well, Mary Ann, do you approve of Roger?
I think we should ask Dennis first.
Yes.
Who's Dennis?
Dennis Urkel. He's captain of the lacrosse team.
Why do we need Dennis Urkel's approval?
His father is Judge Urkel. He's going to run for Superior Court.
And his chances might be jeopardized if his son's fiancée has him living in the house.
Fiancé?
Mary Ann and Dennis are going together, sort of unofficially engaged.
Mary Ann, don't you think you should inform your father about something as important as an engagement?
I did. I called Daddy in Westport, and he gave me his blessing.
Not that father. Me, your legal father, Walter Whitney, who's clothed, fed, and housed you while that drunk in Westport hasn't even bothered to visit you in 2 years.
Mother, I will not sit here and have Walter slander my father. I just knew he'd cause trouble.
We are all a bit upset. I think perhaps it's best we wait until morning before taking a vote.
Vote? What vote?
On whether to take Roger into our home. We discussed all that, Walter.
I never agreed to a vote. It's our decision, just yours and mine.
Please, Walter, I don't want to argue the point.
I didn't take a vote when I adopted Mary Ann.
She is my natural child. It was the only decent thing to do.
By that logic, if he were my natural son, I'd have every right to expect you, my wife, to accept him.
Don't make ludicrous parallels, Walter.
No, I mean it, Vivian. If Roger were my son, you'd accept him?
Yes, Walter, if he were your son, of course.
All right, Vivian. I will let you be as good as your word. Roger is my son.
I don't find that very amusing, Walter.
Neither do I, but it happens to be a fact.
That can't be. He's,
And so is his mother.
This is really your son?
Yes.
Your natural son?
Yes.
Oh, my God. And to think I was going to let him live here.
You promised to accept him just as I accepted your child.
You tricked me.
Vivian,
Don't
listen.
touch me, Walter. Don't ever touch me again.
You're getting hysterical.
God will never forgive you for having a black child.
How do you know, Vivian? Maybe he'll be pleased. Maybe God is black.
You will burn in hell for saying that, Walter.
Deep in my heart, I do believe.
Will you stop singing that song?
We shall overcome someday. Mr. Charlie, I got a feeling you better start learning the words.
Where's the boy?
In the garage.
Vivian?
Upstairs with Dr. Bristol and Reverend Hayworth.
How is she?
She's under sedation. Reverend Hayworth is praying with her. I even had to give Marianne tranquilizers. I've been the Longhurst family doctor for 40 years. I delivered Vivian, and to see her in this state of shock is You must be a sadist to flaunt a black son in front of her.
I didn't flaunt him. He's not black. He's what interior decorators call hickory bronze. Same color as your new car.
I would just as soon you did not compare that boy to my new car. I no longer consider myself your personal physician, and I would advise you not to get sick in San Marino, Mr. Whitney.
Your father-in-law wants the family to spend the night at his house. I don't see God's book around, Walter.
I'm sorry.
Sorry is for those seeking forgiveness. Are you seeking forgiveness, Walter?
Forgiveness for what, Reverend?
Vivian said you told her that God is black.
I simply posed it as a possibility.
We don't speculate on God's color, Walter. If you ever want Vivian to speak to you again, go upstairs and tell her that God is white.
But we're really not sure. I mean, the Hindus don't believe it, the Muslims, the Buddhists.
God is white. It's simple logic. His son is white.
That's not proof. I'm white, my son is black.
I'll pray for you, Walter.
Companion alla Signora Whitney Americano. Walter, this is the most critical night of your life.
I was beginning to get that feeling.
but one which you can easily survive, provided we proceed with delicacy and good taste.
And Roger is not good taste.
Someday, perhaps, but not at the moment.
Well, when does Roger become fashionable? Who makes those decisions?
People. Me, you.
Me?
Have I been wrong all these years in interpreting your silence as approval? It's human. People lean any way the wind blows. The wind blows white, not black. Blows Whitney, not Weisenthal. You must not legally recognize the boy. As long as he is considered illegitimate, society is not threatened. Someday the torch of leadership, of power, will be passed to you. You must feel confident that when your turn comes to pass on the torch, you won't put it in the hands of someone who would burn down the country with it.
Pass on the torch to him? I don't think of Roger as my future. I even resent his being here. But I have a serious problem, Nelson. A flaw in my character. I don't have the sense of commitment or strength or courage to look at him and say, go away, it never happened.
Walter, you were like a son to me. But as you well know, having a son can turn out to be a bitter disappointment.
Mr. Charlie, hey, where you going?
To work. If you're hungry, there's food in the kitchen. Otherwise, stay in your room.
Could I go swimming in the pool?
Maybe tomorrow. Just stay in your room and read. And if you can't read, just sit and draw pictures.
Mr. Charlie, I want you to know that no matter what happens, I'm behind you, 100%. You can even rub my head for good luck.
I don't believe in superstitious myths.
Oh, there's no myth about black people changing your luck. Well, you only met me yesterday, and already your luck has changed, hasn't it?
I never thought of it like that. Get your hand off the card.
Sorry, Mr. Whitney, we can't let you in.
Can't let me in?
Orders from the man upstairs.
I'm the man upstairs. Mr. Longhurst gave the order.
Yes, sir. We also got orders to confiscate your car.
My car?
Yes, sir. It's company property.
This is outrageous. Hello. I'd like to call my secretary.
You don't have a secretary anymore, sir.
Wardlow, Executive Security. May I have your credit cards?
My credit card?
Article 7 of your company contract. Unilectron shall reserve the right to revoke all issued credit cards at any time. May I have your credit cards, please? Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
And then he took out these scissors and cut me in half. You don't know what it's like to see yourself lying there on the ground. Roger, Mr. Charlie, has anyone been around this morning?
Man, if I've been trying to reach you. Well, I called your office, and they said you didn't even work there anymore. As soon as you left, the whole family came back. Cops, moving men, and everything. It's a wild scene, Mr. Charlie. All your suitcases are on the lawn.
They're putting my suitcases on the lawn?
Not putting them, throwing them.
what about my golf clubs? My fishing gear, my dobro?
What's a dobro?
It's like a guitar.
Yeah, well, they just threw that on the lawn, too. I got a feeling you ain't welcome around here anymore, Mr. Charlie.
All right, now listen. Call a cab, put everything in it, and come down here to my lawyer. 242 Comstock. Got that? 242 Comstock. She's throwing my things out of the house.
Yes, I know. I advised you to do so. Your dossier, Walter. Tax returns, bank statements, investments, insurance. Everything.
You advised? You, my dearest friend? My lawyer?
I'm still your dearest friend, but no longer your lawyer. I agreed to represent Vivian in the divorce.
You agreed to represent Vivian?
Oh, damn it, Walter. Do you think I like doing this?
You sold out.
I'm recommending an attorney, Bob Garvey. Because of the uniqueness of the case, I think he's eminently qualified to represent you.
I don't object to him recommending you, Mr. Garvey. I object to the reason why he recommended you. They're not going to get away with this. I'm going to fight.
Fight, Mr. Whitney? Fight with what?
Money. I've got money.
Oh, you mean you have other funds that aren't listed here?
Of course not. Everything I have is in there.
Where is the boy now?
Downstairs, waiting in the cab.
Is the meter running? I mean, with a financial statement like this, I'd watch every nickel.
Well, there must be some mistake, some misprint.
Well, your salary has gone into a stock option plan, which is in Vivian's name. There's a trust fund, which is in Mary Ann's name. Your bank account is in Vivian's name. Man, you don't even have a checking account.
But I didn't need checks. I had credit cards. All right. Cutting through all the talk, Mr. Garvey. What am I worth?
How much have you got in your wallet?
$68. You mean that's it?
That's it, baby.
I'm worth $68.
I know it's a very old cliche, Mr. Whitney, but you still got your health.
$68, who wants it?
Well, until we get them into court, you can always collect unemployment.
I can't, not unemployment. That's what they want to do, break me. Well, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction. They're never going to make me crawl, never. And stop smiling. Even you're beginning to irritate me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. Social menopause is a very difficult time for a man.
Social menopause?
Yes, you're going through a change of color, Mr. Whitney. You don't want to play the game as a white man, so they're going to let you watch it as a black man.
Swimming pool.
Maybe they got a tennis court in the back. Stop complaining. They got TV and free ice.
That'll be $22 and checkout time is noon. There'll be no dope, no parties, no fighting. Only people allowed in the room is them that paid for it.
Sounds fair enough. Here you are.
Okay, room 13. And if I give 3 short rings on the telephone, that means the Vice Squad is here.
The Vice Squad? He happens to be my son.
I've heard them all, mister, but that's cute. Hey, Daisy, fell out here, so wait till I tell you.
Hey, you have to put a quarter in to make it work.
They only promise free ice cubes.
I don't like ice cubes.
Stop whining and eat them. Will you stop banging that set?
I gotta watch Starsky and Hutch.
We can't afford them.
Well, maybe some quarters will come out.
Roger, we do not steal.
It ain't stealing. I'll put the quarters right back
We
in.
do not steal, Roger.
Sorry, Mr. Charlie. It seemed like the natural thing to do.
Then we will have to control our natural instincts. Who told you to take that bed?
Well, I can't sleep on a narrow bed.
Neither can I.
Well, if I don't get enough sleep, I wake up with a headache.
Your health is expendable. I'm the one that we gotta keep alive. That bed is mine.
I got it first.
All right. We'll let reason prevail. We'll split the room in half. The space between the beds shall be the dividing line. Each man's half shall be his, where he can do as he pleases, and into which the other cannot cross without permission. Call it.
Heads.
Heads. Take that bed and I'll take this.
I sure hope you get a good job so we can find a decent place to live.
Don't worry about me. I'll get a job. I've got friends.
Hey, Walter, come in. Come in. Sit down, sit down. Where is he?
Where's who, Freddie?
Your son.
Who told you?
Vivian called Helen this morning. Is he really as black as she says? How does it feel, Walter?
Uncomfortable. Freddie, I gotta talk to you.
Vivian told Helen she threw you out of the house.
Yeah. Look, I've got a favor to ask you.
Where are you and your son staying?
In a motel. Freddie, I'm not with Unilectron anymore.
Vivian told Helen they took your Rolls Royce away.
Freddie, I need a job.
Nelson called the old man this morning, Walter.
No chance, huh?
Your name is shit around here.
I appreciate that, Freddie. I mean it. There's nothing worse than being left up in the air.
I can loan you some money. Vivian told Helen they took everything you had.
Oh, thanks, old buddy, but I'm fine. Just fine. Well, see you around.
See me around where, Walter?
That's true. Where?
You want me to okay a loan without collateral?
I'll pay it back, Tubby, as soon as I get a job.
Oh, $2,000. That's a lot of money.
I said I'd pay it back.
No house, no car, no jewelry, no stocks. You must have something you can put up for security.
I'm putting up our friendship, Tubby. 15 years of friendship guarantees I'll pay you back. I'm giving you the ultimate collateral. Walter Whitney's word.
But your name isn't Walter Whitney.
$7.65 for food, 25 cents for the paper, bus fares, phone calls, lunch, $22 for the room. We're down to 30 bucks. $22 again for the room. Tomorrow, phone calls, buses, and it's kaput. Eat, enjoy. This may become known as the second last supper.
What's this?
Cream cheese, bagel, and lox.
Oh, what's lox?
Smoked fish.
I don't dig smoked fish.
Shut up and eat it. It's soul food.
This is soul food?
To my group, yes. You know, you're not the only people who have soul. That sandwich is the result of 6,000 years of suffering.
I don't understand.
Don't understand what?
Well, if you're that loyal to a sandwich, how come you changed your last name?
None of your business, Roger.
Well, being that your name is my name, too, I just wanted to know what I should call myself. I mean, after you make me legal, will I still be Roger Porter?
Whatever makes you happy.
Roger Whitney. Yeah, that's style. Sounds like I belong. Roger Weisenthal. Nah, don't feel right. I could just see everybody saying you don't look like no Weisenthal. Hey, where you going?
Out.
You coming back?
Unless I get hit by a car or struck down by lightning. But knowing my luck, I'll be back.
Okay, here we go. That's it.
A good shot.
Throw me the ball. You cut underneath the basket. I'll pass to you. There you go. Go. No.
Okay, Dad. Try one more. I'll get it.
Here, throw it here.
What?
Cut underneath the basket.
Okay, right now?
Okay, here you
Okay.
go. There you go. Okay. Here, I'm gonna throw it. I'm going down in the corner and cut down here.
You want me to throw it to you then? You
Yeah.
shoot it? I'll get it, Dad. Don't worry about it.
It's all right. I'll get it.
Oh.
Is that your boy?
Yeah.
What is it? He's about 17, right?
Uh-huh.
He's a pretty good ball player.
Not bad.
I got a son about that age, too. You want to play a game, you and your son, against me and my son? 3 baskets win, we'll play for $5.
Okay, you're on.
We're back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, where are we going?
Pick up an easy $5. Just hope those 2 turkeys haven't left yet. Okay, first team scores 3 baskets, wins $5.
Hey, wait a minute. It's supposed to be my son against your son.
Well, he is my son. Come on, let's play. You take it out first.
Come on, son.
Okay, Dad.
You didn't tell me we were going to play basketball.
Don't slam dunk it right away. It'll scare him.
Listen, Mr. Charlie.
Roger, just do what comes naturally. Come on, fellas, let's play.
Come on, Roger. Stop kidding around.
That's one. You stop clowning around.
What? I didn't even get a chance.
Come on. What the hell kind of shot was that?
It's the best I could do, Mr. Charlie.
That's the best you can do? $5. We blew 5 big ones. I have to be the father of the only black kid who can't play basketball.
You didn't have much luck finding a job, huh?
Look, jobs at my executive level are not just floating around. But don't worry, I'll get work somewhere.
I heard about a place today at Lincoln and Seco where there's jobs for hardcore unemployables.
I am not a hardcore unemployed.
You go there in the morning, right? And guys come by on trucks looking for dudes to do odd jobs. Mowing lawns, painting houses, cleaning stables, picking
Cleaning
grapes.
stables? Where do you even hear about a job like that?
This afternoon when I stopped to give this guy a lift.
How could you give someone a lift, Roger?
And the car was driving.
Car? Whose car?
My car.
Car? You have a car?
Yeah, I picked it up secondhand to come out here.
You have a car and you didn't tell me? You let me blow all my money on cabs and buses?
Well, I didn't have a chance, Mr. Charlie. I mean, everything happened so fast. You dragged me to the car, and you drove me to the ocean, then to the store, then to your house.
Forget it. Where is it?
It's over there. It's the red one.
Should have guessed.
Cost me $14 in a record player.
You were overcharged. You drove this 2,000 miles? You could have been arrested for littering the highway.
Needs a tune-up. It's a menace. Needs walking.
No, it doesn't. Hey, there's gas fumes in here.
That means the engine's still running. Open the window. It's stuck. It won't open. Well, bang on it a few times. Hey, what are you doing to my car, man?
Your insurance will cover it, won't it?
How was that? I don't know. We may be on fire.
On fire?
That dude on the bike, yell for him to get out of the way, because once I get rolling, I can't slow down.
Blow your horn.
Don't have one.
Don't have one?
Yeah.
Out of the way! Out of the way! We've got no brakes! Out of the way! We've got no brakes!
Good morning, officer. Get the hell out of here. $0.85. That's what we're down to. 85 cents.
You can sign up for unemployment.
Never. That's what they want me to do.
Oh, how about welfare? Lots of black families on welfare.
We are not a black family.
Well, what's going to become of us, Mr. Charlie?
I don't know.
Oh. I never thought it'd end up like this. Eating sandwiches in a cheap motel. I came to California figuring I'd live in a mansion. Look where you dragged me.
Where I dragged you?
I thought you'd take better care of me, that's all.
I'm doing the best I can. I've been turned down by every corporation in town.
So we're talking wall here.
We're doing what?
I mean, they really got you up against the wall.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
What's it?
The wall.
What wall?
The money's in a wall safe behind the picture of Vivian's mother. Right.
Take what you want. I know what you're going to do. I know I can't talk you out of it. I can't stop you. I'm all alone. My husband isn't here. I'm defenseless. All right. Go ahead. Do what you're going to do and leave. Just go ahead and get it over with. Well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead. Do it.
17 years of marriage, and the only memorable night with my wife was the night I came in as a burglar. She was like a wild woman. And you know, if she'd have known it was me, she would have gotten a headache. Roger, Mr. Charlie. Roger, remember that place you mentioned? The place for the hardcore unemployables.
Yeah, it's on the corner of Lincoln and Seco. But it's not that easy to get a job there either. I mean, there's lots of competition.
Stop worrying. I can hold my own with any misfit. Roger registers, tell him to pawn my golf clubs and find a cheap furnished apartment. I'll meet him in front of your office when I'm done.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
They're not gonna beat me, Mr. Barbie.
you know how to load scrap iron? All right, you in the blue cap, across to the white cap. Hop in the back of the truck.
You want a drink, buddy? 5 cents.
I only drink after work.
Any of your turkeys ever work in a rock quarry? Yeah? All right, get on. You? Yeah, you. Come on, get on. All right, sit down and hang on. Come on in.
It's just you and me, buddy.
Either you stiffs know how to clean stables?
Yes, sir, I can.
I'm available.
Okay, you dummy.
I think he means you.
Yeah, you dummy. Come on, get your butt in the back. On the double. You shovel each and every one of these real clean. Then come on over here to this other barn. Then you clean all of these. You start all the way down there at that end, clean all these up to here, then go back down there and clean all those on that side. You load it all on this wheelbarrow here, clear up to the top. Now you got that? Come on then. Come on. Then you walk it over here to this pile and unload. Got it, dummy?
Yes, sir.
Then you go over there to that barn over there and start over again. Now go. Go back to number 1 and don't stop till I tell you. Go ahead. Go. Move it. Move it. Move it, dummy. Two stalls. You're okay, dummy.
Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie? I went to wait for you down at Mr. Garvey's office, but when you didn't show up, I came here. I hocked the golf clubs, found us a furnished apartment. Wasn't easy, but I found one. Had a rough day, huh?
are we, Roger?
Watts, Mr. Charlie.
Watts? What are we doing in Watts?
Well, it's not the fanciest apartment, but at least it's home.
This is home?
This is home.
Jiminy, get down to that store, boy. Your mama be home from work in a minute.
Hope we don't have to pay for that.
I don't mind living in Watts, but do we have to live in the poor section?
The lock sometimes gets stuck. Which in a way is good, because you can hear anyone trying to break in.
Who'd want to break in? This is a furnished apartment. This is terrible. Terrible.
Oh? The better places wanted first and last month's rent. I only got $35 for the golf clubs.
$35? That was a complete set of McGregor clubs. Where's the bedroom, Roger?
Oh, it pulls out. Or one of us can sleep on the couch.
I thought that was the bathroom.
Yeah, I did too at first.
Where is the bathroom, Roger?
It's, down the other end of the porch.
No, never. I'm not sharing a communal bathroom. It's unhygienic.
That's exactly how the other tenants feel, Mr. Charlie. That's why every apartment has its own toilet seat. Now, it wasn't easy for me to get you in here, Mr. Charlie. I mean, they weren't too happy about having a white person in the building. You're here on a trial basis.
Well, I don't want to lower the standard of living.
I registered at a job training center today. The only opening they had was in a class for short order cooks.
Short order cook. That's a good trade. You can always get a job.
Yeah, and you can save money with me doing the cooking. Now, you just sit down and relax.
Ah!
What?
I can feel the springs.
Hey, Tupac, cut off the goddamn radio.
What's the carton?
Just something I brought from home.
What's in it?
Just a lot of stuff that must belong to you.
To me?
Yeah, I found it in my mom's closet after she died. It's yours, ain't it?
It's mine.
Be pretty embarrassing if it belonged to some other dude, huh? Mom was great for saving things. I mean, if a bird left some crumbs on a windowsill, she'd leave them there like she expected the bird to come back or something. I mean, it never entered her mind that the bird had forgotten where she lived. Hey, it's like Cinderella. You know, like the slipper fit and you were once the prince, but it's midnight and it's too late and the prince has turned back into a pumpkin.
Aside from mangling a beautiful fairy tale, the reason the slipper doesn't fit is that the prince's feet are swollen from shoveling horse manure all day, so he can support the pretender to the throne. I cleaned 32 stables. I've been following the horses all day, picking up the pieces of my life. In a couple of weeks, you're going to have a trade. You'll get a job. And then each of us goes his own way. Until that time, I'll shovel it. I'll live in it. But I won't take it.
Think I'll go take a walk, huh?
off my back. I'm gonna get off your back and get right off your ass. Woman, have you got a death wish or something?
We had difficulty finding you.
Forgive me for not getting up, but I had a hard day at the stables. I got the job without a character reference.
Walter, many strong words were said in the heat of crisis.
But what you said was true. The wind does blow white, not black. It does blow Whitney, not Weisenthal. When you're shoveling manure, you really find out which way the wind is blowing.
I admire you, Walter. I mean that. You've shown a determination and an ingenuity which I admire. I thought you would break, but you only bent. I respect that ability to survive. The company misses you, Walter. Vivian misses you. Come back. Come home to the people you belong with.
What about Roger?
Provisions will be made. A good military academy to strengthen character. Tour of duty overseas in the service of his country.
And if by chance he survives?
In that case, he will be sent adequate funds to permit him to live comfortably. It's a solution that will preserve your integrity, your sense of obligation, and most important, the quality of life you've worked so hard to create. I think Vivian would like to say something in private. Peace with honor, Walter.
Why peace at all, Nelson? I'm a deserter. You execute deserters.
Only as a last resort. You're one of us, Walter. And there are so few of us. We are the true minority. Those tiny wheels that keep the one big wheel turning. If we vanish, that wheel stops, and it rusts into chaos, anarchy, nihilism. All power to the people. They had it once. It was called the Stone Age.
I had a long talk with Mary Ann, Walter, and she's agreed to call you father. Oh, Walter, I know that I have, on occasion, failed you as a woman. But I assure you, I am a woman capable of great warmth and passion.
But only for burglars.
Oh, Walter, I knew that was you all along. Come home, Walter. I'll be waiting.
They're after me, Mr. Charlie. What'd you do?
What did I do? Nothing. I'm just walking down the street, right? These dudes come up, break a store window, grab some stuff, and took off.
Yeah?
Well, the police pulled up, and I started running.
Innocent people don't run from the police.
Yeah, maybe not in San Marino, Mr. Charlie.
They were probably just trying to find out what happened.
Yeah, when a cop yells, "Freeze your ass, nigga," he's made up his mind what happened.
Open up, police.
Help me, Mr. Charlie.
The bed. Quick, hide in here.
You'll find me in there.
No, they won't do as I say.
Why?
Because I'm your father and I say so.
Coming!
Open up.
Shove off, pigs!
How you doing, Mr. Charlie?
Not too good, Roger.
You get points today. Got yourself arrested for me, roughed up.
Finally starting to act like a father, huh?
Enough so I'll get off your back. I didn't want anything from you, Mr. Charlie. No adoption, no trust fund, nothing. I just came out here because every kid wants to see what his dad is like. I didn't want you to like me because I was your son. I wanted you to respect me because I was Mom's son. But I looked in your eyes and you didn't see Mom. You saw black. And Mom deserved better than that. You owed her more than that. I looked at you in that big office and I kind of went crazy inside. I said to myself, this is the man who broke Mama's heart. The man she spent her whole life loving and waiting for. And she died loving you, Mr. Charlie. I think you ought to know that. You walked away from a great lady. There's no woman in the world could love a man more than she loved you, Mr. Charlie. She'd have made you happy. She knew how to make people happy. I wanted to hurt you like you hurt Mom. I wanted to insult you so bad that you'd get angry and take a swing at me, then I'd have an excuse for punching you out. Isn't that terrible? A son wanting to hit his own father. And I was glad when things went wrong for you. But then I realized no matter how much bad happened to you, that couldn't make any good happen to Mama. She's dead, Mr. Charlie. We'll never see her again, hear her again, touch her again. She deserved a better life. You should have given her a better life.
I should have given her a better life.
Did you love my mom, Mr. Charlie? This is very important. Did you love my mom?
Yeah. I loved her. I loved her very much.
Black and white together. It's a lot to overcome. You're going back to your family, Mr. Charlie. I got a feeling they'll be a lot nicer to you now. Well, you're really not a bad guy. I mean, if you weren't my father, we might have become friends.
Walter. Oh, just in time for the board meeting, then lunch with the Common Market delegation.
It's as though these past days never happened. Nothing's changed.
Well, everything changes. Constantly. That's why we have to adapt, so we can always come out on top.
Being on top means somebody's on the bottom.
Well, you can't have winners if you don't have losers.
Why can't we all win, Nelson?
No losers? That's what life is all about. Even death has heaven and hell, winners and losers.
It's hard to hate you, Nelson. You have just enough logic to give your sickness respectability. You've sentenced whole races of people to be born losers. And as the father of one, I object. Not that he was born with 2 strikes on him, but that you won't give him a third pitch to swing at. Goodbye, Nelson.
You walk out this time, Walter, and I'll destroy you. When I'm through with you, you'll think shoveling horse shit is a step up.
I just don't understand. Why is he going back there? He was going to learn a trade here. What's he going to do back there?
Well, the new college semester starts in a couple of weeks.
Well, what's that got to do with him? He said he left high school when he was 16.
That's when he graduated, Mr. Whitney.
Graduated?
He made me promise not to tell you.
He goes to college?
Roger received a scholarship from Northwestern.
That's where I went.
He's in his 2nd year of pre-med.
He was right, Mr. Garvey. I looked at him and I saw black. I didn't see Lorraine, what she was, what she would have brought up our son to be. I looked at him and I didn't see a college student. I saw a high school dropout. I didn't see a doctor. I saw a short order cook.
Look, there he is.
Roger?
Yeah.
Just wanted to wish you a good trip.
Thanks.
If you need something, I mean, if you need money or anything, I can always be reached through Mr. Garvey.
Well, if you need anything, I mean, if you run short or something, I mean, I'll be at Aunt Clara's.
Well, have a good trip, Roger.
So long, Mr. Charlie.
You know, Mr. Charlie doesn't sound right, not when you're saying goodbye.
Well, so long, Dad.
I have this friend back in Evanston, Bernie Levin. Every time he'd come out here, he'd try and talk me into coming back there and working for him. I thought I might just go there and take him up on it. It's not far from the university. Might give us a chance to see one another every once in a while. Have dinner, talk, maybe take in a ball game. Get to know one another. I mean, maybe we'll never get to be friends, but then maybe we will. I mean, it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Well, have a good trip, son. Hey, listen. If I'm gonna go back there, I might as well start now. Wouldn't hurt to have someone along. I'm a pretty good mechanic.
Good idea.
You can send the rest of this stuff to me at his Aunt Clara's.
Well, all right. All right.
Hey, I almost forgot. This picture of Mom. Thinks she'd like you to have it.
Let's take the wrong way home, the long way home. We'll let them believe they've lost us. Time off the talk and dream, the blow of steam. Believing the dream comes true. There's hope in a new beginning. I say the hell with the past. Keep nothing but love between us. We'll take our time and save the best for the last. Closer. After a shaky start, we did get smart. We're following common senses, keeping our facts in line. We'll do just fine. There's nothing that we can't do. I'm counting on love to guide us, love that was long overdue. Street demons that once defied us, haven't a chance this time. I'm following you, come closer, just a touch. Come closer, just a touch. I'd be right every time if I could, but I'd rather be lucky and love than be good. Now I finally found you and I'm following through, and I'm gonna get closer to you. I haven't lost my mind. At times I find I'm careless and do misplace it. Blame it on too much sun. What's done is done. We're working it out today. Don't tell me what stands to reason. I'm talking straight from the heart. If I wasn't foolish sometimes, how would you know when I began to be smart? Come closer. I'm gonna get closer to you. Sometimes the act of love is push and shove. It's known to be rough and tumble. Only the best survive. We're both alive. It's probably in our blood. It's love and it tells me something simple as sin, but it's true. That love at its best takes two hearts. Really don't mind this time. I'm following you. Come closer, just a touch. Come closer, just a touch. I'd be right every time if I could, but I'd rather be lucky at love than be